It's been 7 years.
Has it been that long?
7 years since the first Black Series figure was released.
I wouldn't have guessed more than 3 tops.
And they dropped some serious heat right out of the gate.
Yeah, man, but it's a dry heat.
But now we're over 200 figures deep, and there's still figures that they're missing.
Something's missing!
Something's missing, all right.
And like every other Black Series collector, I have my own wish list.
That's a given. That's a given.
But as I was writing it out, I was having a hard time narrowing it down to 10, and I only have one from the prequel trilogy.
Think I'm way off base here?
And this may shock you, I even have some from Disney Star Wars. I know! I even shock myself sometimes. Welcome to CKC, I'm Matt, and if you like Star Wars and Star Wars collecting, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe, like this video, and
hold on to your butts.
While compiling my top 10 most expensive Black Series figures, my top 10 most shocking, my top 10 most valuable, and the top 10 most worthless Black Series lists, all of which I will link for you in the description so you can check them out later, I thought to myself, wow, there's a lot of figures that we don't have. Disney Star Wars is way overrepresented. And if you're watching this, I know you have one. Everybody does. And don't be ashamed. It's perfectly natural. I for sure won't judge you.
Judging, watching, look at the baby, look at the baby.
I know you have a Black Series list that you're hoping Hasbro will release, or at the very least can name a few off the top of your head that you would buy instantly.
Guilty.
Yeah.
And I do too. Now I want to stress that this is my list specifically. You may have a different list, or even a better list. Doubtful. Very doubtful, but it's possible. But while I was trying to write mine down, I realized I have more than 10. Significantly more than 10. So here's the 10 that I could narrow it down to. And I want you guys to let me know, would you buy it? Would you not buy it? Good idea, bad idea? You tell me. But first, honorable mentions.
Honorable.
I'm gonna say it.
Don't say it!
I'm gonna say it. I have to.
Don't say it. Yeah, not gonna say it.
Jar Jar Binks. That's right, the most annoying character in anything ever.
Jar Jar Binks, that guy's gonna be the shit!
The initiator of poop jokes into Star Wars. Poop jokes. I shit you not.
Shame.
Who is 86th from the movies, the Sith Lord Jar Jar Binks. But there's stipulations. First of all, he deserves a figure, the regular Jar Jar Binks. But I want a black cloak to put on him with a lightsaber so he can be a Sith too. Oh, and he needs to come with the shit so I can recreate the poop scene. Oh! Number 10. The IG-100 guards for General Grievous. I don't have much for the prequel trilogy on here because frankly, I'm not the biggest fan of it. It grew on me through the years, however, but when I was younger, I didn't really like it. I thought it was corny, aimed too much towards younger kids, and lacked a lot of what made the original trilogy so good. I wasn't really a kid when it came out, I was a teenager and in college, and the fact that I was so anti-mainstream and an original trilogy purist at the time combined to make me dismiss it. And the overabundance of CG did not appeal to me. And I'm still a practical effects person, especially in scenes when you could tell that they were just so excited about what they could do with CGI, they were just trying to show it off. But these guys were badass, and they kind of look like Terminators, the T-800s, and would look sick as a Black Series figure. Number 9, Bib Fortuna. This one seems like a no-brainer. One of my favorite figures as a kid, a 6-inch Bib Fortuna would be sick. An absolute necessity if you're putting together a Jabba Palace scene. I think he's long overdue. A commenter on one of my vids actually suggested packaging up a Black Series Bib Fortuna with the Salacious Crumb figure, 2 of Jabba's toadies in the same pack, which I thought was a pretty good idea, because we need a new Black Series Salacious Crumb too. I know one came with the Jabba the Hutt set for the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but that was like 7 years ago. Not to mention the set's like $180. We need a Vintage Collection one too. Hasbro, you can't just keep releasing versions of Luke. We need some other figures as well. Number 8, you guys are gonna kill me for this one. Jyn Erso in her Scarif disguise. I know that the Disney Star Wars don't sell. I know the market's been flooded with Jyn Ersos to such an extent that if you tried to give me one for free, I would not accept it. And if the Jyn Ersos that were released were an actual Jyn Ersos, they could probably rule the world. But I thought it was a cool looking character, and I wanted to get at least one Disney Star Wars figure on this list. We got one of these in the 3.75 line from Hasbro, and Hot Toys did a 1/6 scale one, and I thought it was weird that Hasbro never did a Black Series one of these. But if you were a collector of Black Series back when Rogue One came out, you know how badly Hasbro screwed everything up with the Rogue One figures. From new waves that only had 2 new figures in it and all of the repacks that were all peg warmers, so retailers didn't even open them, to pegs filled with only Jyn Ersos and Cassians. It probably would have been a disaster if it did come out. Number 7, Asajj Ventress. How are you going to do Asajj Ventress lightsaber before you do the actual figure? How does that make any sense? And how doesn't her lightsaber come in a pair? Because she's dual wielding. Dual wielding, I know. That's a joke for someone. I doubt they are watching though. A Black Series Asajj Ventress figure could be one of the dopest figures they ever made. It looks like she would translate well into the Black Series. And we need more female Jedis and Siths with lightsabers. We are lacking on those. Aliyah Sakura comes to mind, if that's how you say her name. I have no idea. And more female villains. Kira didn't really work out. Did Kira ever get in a lightsaber battle against Anakin and Obi-Wan at the same time by herself? No, she's nothing compared to Ventress. Asajj Ventress would be killer though. And how about a Clone Wars Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Maul while you're at it? That's the wave right there. Asajj Ventress, Obi-Wan, Maul, and Anakin from the Clone Wars. Tell me you wouldn't buy every single one of those. And imagine a vintage collection Asajj Ventress, that card would be so sick. Number 6, Wicket and Logray. So we're finally getting some Ewoks, and it's surprising how long it actually took. Tebow can be pre-ordered now, and Pat Blue is coming in the exclusive Heroes of Endor set, and also will get its regular release in the Black Series as well. But they're neglecting everyone's favorite Ewok, and that's Wicket. Wicket, how do you feel about that? I couldn't have said it better myself. And because he's so small, they should package him up with another Ewok, which could be Logray, who needs his own Black Series figure, or maybe even the Chief. I don't know if I'm really feeling the idea of releasing him with the Princess, which they did with the doll line that they had, whatever that was called. I'd rather have an Ewok 2-pack. But if Tebow and Yoda are any indication, Hasbro will sell Wicket in a regular Black Series box by himself and still charge us $20 for it. Number 5, Super Sheev. Didn't see that coming, did you? I don't understand how you can release Rise of Skywalker figures without releasing either version of Palps. You brought them back to save the trilogy, for Christ's sakes. Hey, we better get these Janna and Zori Bliss figures out. They are crucial to the Skywalker saga. What about Palpatine? Oh, you mean the main villain, who apparently has been behind the curtain pulling the strings for all 3 movies? Nah, let's double up Zori Bliss in the wave instead, and then repack Yavin Luke twice. I actually spoke on this a little bit in an older video called Walmart Fails Again Part 2, and I'm going to play a little clip of it right now. And the wave includes Zori Bliss. Yeah, I'm all set. I'm all set with Zori Bliss.
I'll say, magic ticket my ass.
And there's 2 of her in every wave. That popular she is. It's just more stock for Five Below later. Just another Rise of Skywalker useless character. Hey, let's get these useless Rise of Skywalker characters out before either version of the Emperor from the movie. Hey, yeah, great idea. These useless characters that are in one movie are way more important than the main villain from the 9-movie saga. So I'm a big fan of Zori Bliss, as you can tell. But that was from the second video of a 3-short video series I did about Walmart screwing up the retro collection and other Walmart Hasbro Star Wars fails. It's really funny, so you should check it out. I'm going to put links to all 3 videos in the description for you. You really should check them out. Oh, and now Darkseid Rey, who's in the movie for a total of -6 seconds, is coming to the Black Series before Palps 2. Unbelievable. Number 4, Rebel Commando from Endor.
My team's ready. I don't have a command crew for the shuttle.
And that team was Rebel Commandos.
You rebel scum.
They were that scum. That's gotta be worth something. I had a few of these guys when I was a kid. Not the flashiest of characters, but necessary nonetheless. And the vintage collection ones from 2009-2010 command a pretty hefty price, especially the variant, who's a black Rebel Commando. He goes for like $80. And if they make it anything like the Rebel Hoth Trooper that recently came out, with interchangeable face and other accessories, it could be one of the best figures that they've ever released. Come on, Hasbro. We'll probably have to wait until 2023, which is the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. Number 3, Yak Face. We need a Yak Face for the progression of the Black Series line, and I'll tell you why. First of all, they released a special Yak Face that came with the vintage collection HasLab Jabba's Sail Barge, and that thing being sold by itself goes for about first edition Mando money. The demand is there. Hasbro has been hesitant to release any of the background aliens in the Black Series, despite constant pressure by collectors. If they release this one, a popular one, which would most likely sell, that could get them comfortable with the idea of possibly doing more background aliens in the Black Series. Then maybe we could get Squid Face and others. Squid Face would translate well into the Black Series. How badass would a Black Series Squid Face look? And Gentle Giant is doing a bust of him, for Christ's sakes. Number 2, Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. I originally called him Desert Boba Fett or Tatooine Boba Fett, but it's the same thing. We could get a different paint job. He needs an updated paint job, a more screen accurate paint job, maybe some desert weathering. What do you guys think? Come on, you know he would sell. Maybe even get a new mold, considering they released the same figure over and over for a few years. I know some collectors are a little bit upset about the current Boba Fett, so they could re-release him, new mold, make him more screen accurate. He could also come with like the gun sliced in half, and maybe the rope thing that he ties up Luke with. Come on, this would be cool. Okay, before number 1, I would like to apologize to everyone, because this number 1 is going to be so underwhelming that I actually feel bad for you guys. Okay, so number 1, the ATST driver. Okay, I'm sorry. I know that's kind of boring, but I want this guy real bad. I had a few of him as a kid, and it's based off pure nostalgia that I want him. And I want him in a box in a regular release with his own number, or it could be an exclusive. I don't care. I don't want him to come with a vehicle like 3.57-inch Black Series 1 that came with the ATST, as if they'd ever do a Black Series ATST. I mean, that's one of the smaller figures they might have a chance of doing, but I doubt it. Or the 2-pack in the vintage collection. I just want him released by himself in a regular Black Series box. Come on, give the guy some dignity. What do you guys think? Who do you agree with? Who do you hate on this list? Who's on your list? Let me know in the comments. And thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And happy hunting out there.